Toto is an overpowered hero who works alone because he is too shy to make any friends. However, when three hot girls mysteriously form a party with him, he risks his life to protect them, not knowing that they're secretly assassins who want to clap him. It all starts when Toto heads to the Adventurers Guild to find teammates and imagines using his unmatched riz to charm some folks. However, when he tries to act on it, he ends up scaring them away, which leaves him sad and lonely. Just then, three hot chicks named Seiel, Anamony, and Go approach him simultaneously to form a party with him, and Toto becomes happy because teaming up with thick shawties has always been a dream of his. In reality, Seiel is the daughter of the Demon Lord, and was tasked with eliminating the hero to earn her independence. Anamony, on the other hand, is a legendary assassin who was offered a large sum of money to eat Toto, and she accepted this job because she wanted to build an orphanage. And lastly, Go runs a Dejin house where she turns men into good boys, and when she learned about Toto, she vowed to turn him into her man pet. However, when Go locks arms with him, he suddenly has a nosebleed and passes out because he's extremely shy around girls. While he is out, Seiel uses levitation magic to kidnap him, but both Go and Anamony chase after her. Suddenly, Anamony pulls out a weapon out of thin air and shoots at Seiel, and even though she blocks the attack with her magic shield, she is forced to land in the forest. When Seiel says Toto belongs to her, Anamony tells her she was hired to off the hero and can't let her take him. That's when Go steps between them to become the voice of reason. As soon as they let their guard down, their bodies become numb because Go secretly used a potion to paralyze them. However, this makes Seiel lose control of her dark magic, and she accidentally summons a dragon that decides to feast on them. However, Toto suddenly wakes up and destroys the dragon in a single blow, leaving the girls in shock. They immediately cuddle up to him to thank him, but this causes him to go into shock once again. Anamony suggests they off him because he's vulnerable, but Seiel refuses because she's getting moist over his amazing macho man strength. Go then suggests they head back to the city to grab some food, and despite acting nice on the surface, all three of them have their own agenda. Later in the city, Seiel introduces herself as a rookie spellcaster. Anamony pretends to be a priest, and Go claims to be a dancer. After that, the girls wait for Toto to introduce himself, but since he's too shy to say anything, he simply promises to protect them. Go then locks arms with him, and this once again causes him to pass out. After that, the girls decide to discuss their true intentions, and Seiel starts by revealing that she has to eat Toto to earn her independence. Anamony reveals that she is an assassin and Toto is her next target, while Go reveals she is the owner of a degenerate palace and wants to turn the man into her pet. Upon realizing they all want the same things, Anamony decides to step out because the competition isn't worth the pay. But it's all part of her plan to catch the other two off guard. Later, she climbs to a roof and pulls out her sniper rifle to take down Seiel and Go, but she ends up spotting a man shipping a girl to the Epstein Island. Without hesitation, she rescues the girl and lets her go with some money. Suddenly, the man in black appears and reveals himself to be a monster, so Anamony goes all out on him. Before things get too heated, Toto suddenly returns and takes out the monster in Saitama style, which makes Anamony feel warm in her loins. When Toto asks why she, as a priest, is carrying a knife, she blows him a kiss to make him freeze up, and both Seiel and Go make fun of her for resorting to such a cringy method. They ask Anamony why she didn't use her sniper to defeat the monster, and she says she didn't want the little girl to see a bloody mess. She then says this world has become rotten, and she needs money to save it, and that's why she wants to off Toto. As she takes a swing at him, her knife instantly breaks, so she pretends to be tired while the others laugh at her. Later, Go takes them to a motel and books a single room for all four of them, which puts Toto in a frozen state. After that, both Anamony and Seiel leave to get their own rooms, so Go uses this opportunity to use her enslaving potion on Toto. However, the potion has no effect on him, so she transforms into her Dami-Mommy form to whip him. She then commands him to give her a tongue twister, but Toto instinctively pins her down as he tries to fight off her potion. Being pinned by a macho man turns her turbo mode on, but Toto suddenly regains consciousness, and when he sees her melons, he immediately goes back to being frozen. Later, Anamony and Seiel return to her room, and she tells them everything that happened, which makes them realize none of them is strong enough to beat Toto on their own. In the end, they decide to become friends and spend the entire night doing what girls do during sleepovers. The following day, Toto wakes up to find all three of them sleeping in one bed, and that alone is enough to send him to limbo. Later, Go wakes up after a good sleep, and the other two tell her she's overslept. She then points to Toto, who's also sleeping or rather passed out from all the jihad he saw earlier. Anamony wonders if they can flatline him by making him bleed to death, and this immediately gives them an idea of how they can accomplish their mission. They once again start claiming Toto's life for themselves, but the guy wakes up amid their argument, so they go back to being clueless damsels in distress. However, as they tower over him to greet him, he goes back to his limbo once again. Later, as the girls prepare to hit the road, Toto realizes he's in big trouble because he's already passed out twice in a few hours. When Seiel asks him if he's okay, he shakes off his worries and promises to protect them. After that, Go takes them to the guild so they can form a new party, and she asks Toto to write his name as the leader. Despite being utterly shocked, he proceeds to register himself and then smacks his head on the table to show his appreciation to the receptionist.
Hey yo, what the?
This busts open his head, so the girls wipe his face with a towel and ask him to stop acting like a moron because he's their leader now. As Toto wonders if he is really worthy of the role, the receptionist calls him to the counter to give him his registration form. As they head outside, Go realizes none of them has any idea how the adventurers work, so she explains the concept of ranks to them. After that, she takes them to the bulletin board where they can pick jobs, adding that they can increase their ranks by tackling harder jobs. However, since they are E-ranked, Anamony figures they are only good for collecting herbs and hunting slimes. Seiel then wonders how many days it takes for a party to reach S rank, and Go tells her it's not a matter of days but a matter of years. Hearing this, she suddenly holds Toto's arm to send him to limbo, and tells the others that her goal is to flatline him, not to raise her rank. Anamony agrees there is no point in adventuring, and it's best if they fight till only one of them is alive. However, her other option is to team up with them and attempt to flatline Toto every day, and Seiel agrees on the condition that they each get one attempt after the other. Seiel gets the first turn, and Toto wakes up to find himself sitting beside her on a bench. He gets nervous, wondering how to break the silence when Seiel asks him what he's thinking. He asks her where the other two are, and she says they're out looking for jobs while she stayed behind to keep an eye on him. She then asks him why he started adventuring in the first place, and it takes all of his courage to admit that he did it to build self-confidence. He admits that his facial scars and his awkward personality make it harder for him to approach people, so he thought that if he ended the Demon Lord, he would have more confidence in himself. Seiel understands how it feels to be different, because she experienced the same thing back home, and this makes her happy. She then tells Toto to keep working hard so he can improve himself, knowing all too well she won't let him live long enough to achieve his goal. Toto then says he feels bad for passing out and making them worry, but Seiel suddenly starts blushing and tells him he did protect her already. This alone is enough to send him to limbo, and the girls return with the news that they've found a job to explore the Cave of Lakes. Anamony claims Seiel doesn't have it in her to end Toto because she's getting too attached, and this sparks a standoff between them, which is dissolved by Go. Later, they walk to the cave, and Toto starts to sweat because this is his first job. However, after some encouragement from Seiel, he takes the front and asks them to follow his tail. Once inside, the girls ask Seiel how she plans to end Toto, and she starts by making him face dozens of slimes at once. Once the slimes are defeated, Toto leaves to survey the area, and the girls mock Seiel for her flawed plan, but she explains that this was just a test. She has now noticed that Toto is a budget one-punch man, but unlike the real one, his fists will become significantly weaker against a bigger slime. Anamony reminds her that there are no big slimes in this cave, but that's not a problem for her because she can create one of her own. When Toto returns, she uses her magic to empower a smaller slime and turns it into a more vicious version, which manages to withstand Toto's punch. Not only that, but his arm gets stuck in the slime too, so he starts swinging it like a yo-yo. However, this makes things only worse for him, and Seiel starts smirking because her plan has worked. As Toto goes on the verge of defeat, he suddenly yells at the slime to let him go, and his macho man voice evaporates the slime, much to Seiel's frustration. She is so let down that she gives up for the day, so Go eagerly suggests they collect some iron ore to complete their job. While searching, they find some pieces stuck inside a wall, and Toto casually punches a hole to extract them. Meanwhile, at the blacksmith's shop, another adventurer brings him 3 pieces of ore, but Toto and his party bring a bag full of it, leaving the adventurer shocked. The blacksmith, who had posted the job, praises Toto for getting so much, and this helps him build up a bit of his confidence. That evening, the girls also praise Toto for being so strong and ask how he increased his strength. He humbly tells them that he lifts weights, which leaves them shocked. Just then, the adventurer from earlier approaches them and asks Toto not to be so confident just because he mined a few ores. He then tries to raise the girls up by asking him to join their party, but they all give him a death stare, which causes him to run out of there. Afterward, Go tells Toto not to mind idiots like him, but Toto stays silent, thinking that he's very weak because he almost got consumed by a weak slime. His inner monologue tells him that he would have been a loner if these girls hadn't joined him, so he promises himself that he will become much stronger so he can protect them. He then takes a bow and tells them that he feels honored to be at a party with them, and the girls share the same sentiment. Later, the squad arrives in the town of Dosa, and the girls play rock, paper, scissors to decide who gets Toto for the day, which makes Toto believe the team is getting along well. In the end, Go ends up winning the game and is given alone time with him. Toto asks why the other two left, but Go starts to persuade him with her Jigglypuff melons. She then suggests they eat together, and Toto gets nervous thinking they are on a date.
You naughty, naughty.
However, he quickly shakes the feeling off and tells himself that he's merely her bodyguard, so he must make sure she feels safe. However, Go suddenly wraps her arm around him and says let's start the date, which makes him freeze. Anamony and Seiel watch from a distance and presume that Go is pretending to go on a date with Toto to make him drop his guard. Meanwhile, Go takes Toto to a nearby inn, where she offers to raise a toast to their newly formed party, but Toto worries if it's really okay to drink. She assures him they'll be fine, but she also admits to herself that Toto is highly intelligent, even though he looks like a caveman from 4,000 years ago. After he chugs it down, Go asks her how it tastes and Toto goes into a trance, thinking how a beautiful young woman with large-sized milk packs has invited him for drinks. He starts daydreaming of raising her up, but in reality, he's still a wuss who can't even talk to a woman without combusting in his pants. He then realizes that he still hasn't answered Go's question, and this makes Go think that her trick hasn't worked on him. She then offers him some grilled harpy, which she has secretly coated with a potion that will leave him disoriented. After Toto casually takes a bite and gives her a creepy smile, she hands him a sandwich that is mixed with an anesthetic strong enough to pass him out for a whole week. Toto casually bites into it once again and creepily tells her that it's tasty, which indicates that none of her tricks worked. Later, she concludes that Toto is immune to status effects, which puts her at a real disadvantage. She believes he will never love her at this rate, and this reminds her of her rough childhood. Just then, Toto returns with tea, and she bluntly asks him if he loves her, which almost makes him pass out on the spot. As he collects himself, Go uses her magical powers to hypnotize him into becoming her pet, but Toto resists the spell and nervously tells him that he cannot be her dog. Seeing how she's made a fool out of herself, Go starts sobbing and asks him not to hate her. At that moment, Toto tells her he can't protect her if he becomes her pet, but he also declares that he can never hate her. He admits he loves all three of them more than his own life, and this makes Go extremely happy. Hearing this makes him pass out, and Go notices that he had pretended to be Aaron Yeager just so he wouldn't pass out earlier. Later, he wakes up, glad to see Go back to normal, and notices that she has already patched up the wound on his hand, even decorating it with a flower. With that, they reunite with the others in town, and as Seiel drags them to a bakery, Anamony figures that Go's plan did not work. However, Go admits she had a great time with Toto, and the girls believe she might develop feelings for him. The next day, the girls agree to give Anamony a chance and keep this order for the next cycle, but Anamony believes no one else will get a turn because she will surely end him. She then takes him into the forest, and when he asks where Go and Seiel went, she tells them they had stomach pains because they ate too much last night. She adds that they will collect medicinal herbs for them, and as they keep walking, Anamony realizes she doesn't know how to strike up a conversation. Toto starts to get nervous too, and asks her about her hobbies, and she absent-mindedly replies that she likes booze and money. However, she quickly realizes her slip-up and starts pretending that she was cracking a joke. She then asks him what he does in his free time, and Toto hesitantly replies that he just lifts weights, with nothing else to talk about. Anamony risks it by asking how he got that scar on his face, which makes him stop in his tracks. He then reveals it was given to him by a monster, and he follows it up by saying he has lost his home and family because of monsters. She asks if he is seeking revenge, but Toto says he merely wants to regain his confidence because right now he is facing survivor's guilt. Later, as they are collecting medicinal herbs, Anamony refuses to be fazed by his story and whispers in his ear to make him pass out. After that, she decides to take him out by pulling out an explosive, which changes its yield depending on the strength of the target. She then attaches the bomb to Toto, telling him that it only works on people who aren't aware of it, which means he is the perfect target in his current state. As the bomb activates, it starts growing in size and becomes big enough to blow out the entire forest, which means Anamony herself will get caught in the explosion. She quickly wakes up Toto and asks him to throw the bomb away, so he chugs it towards the mountain, and the bomb ends up deleting a whole chunk out of it. Toto even uses his own body to shield Anamony from the blast, but this causes all the herbs he had collected to spoil. He then looks over to Anamony, who is head over heels over Toto because he just saved her life. Hearing this makes him pass out, and this time she finds herself blushing over him. Later, as they walk home, she tells him that a strange monster attached a bomb to his body while he was out, and Toto is glad she is safe. He also thinks he and Anamony are getting along well, especially when she jokes about how silly he looks in his current state. Just then, they run into Go and Seiel, who look like a lab experiment gone wrong, and they explain how they had a mishap with some potions. In the end, they laugh it off and call it a day. The following day, Toto is protecting his hot chicks from some orcs, and they all use their unique powers to help him. Later, they return to the guild, where the receptionist tells them that they are eligible for a promotion quest, which will increase their rank to D. When asked what kind of quest it is, she tells them they have to clear a dungeon, and this will be a test of their teamwork, which is a problem for them. The next day, they reach the dungeon entrance, where they are told to reach the lowest level and bring proof to the surface. The girls ask how many levels there are, but the guard refuses to tell them because mystery is part of the test. Despite that, the girls pretend to be all best friends and assure Toto that they will be fine. However, the day before this, they were at a barn where Anamony mentioned how there was no point in leveling up, because they weren't a real party. However, Go told her that being D rank would allow them to take on more dangerous quests and face stronger monsters, which would give them more opportunities to take out Toto. Anamony suddenly realized that going to the dungeon would give her a golden chance to blow everyone up at once, so she agreed to call a truce, not realizing that Seiel and Go were also planning something of their own. At present, Toto leads them inside the dungeon and comes across a door with a skull on it. Go reads the plate to reveal that they will have to offer mana to activate it, and then use strength to open it. When others ask what it means, she tells them it's a joint task for the mage and the hero, so Seiel begins by offering her mana to the skull. After that, Toto puts his hand in to offer strength, and this allows them to open the door. As they continue forward, Toto admits that the door took a fair bit of strength from him, not knowing that Seiel had modified the gate to suck up almost all of his powers instead of the little that was originally required. Just as she tries to take him down, Anamony suddenly replenishes his strength, which leaves Seiel frustrated. Go then tells her that even though they have called a truce for the day, she can still try to off the hero if she's not being too obvious. Afterward, they come across a wall of fire, and Anamony starts smirking because this is where she can use her bombs effectively. Just as she backs off to fire in the hole, Seiel quickly uses her wind magic to blow out the fire, which ruins Anamony's plan. Following that, they head to a foggy room called the Chamber of Madness, and Go reveals that they have to fight the monsters in this fog. She also adds that this fog will cause hallucinations, when in reality, she plans to use her potions to create that effect. She then notices that both Seiel and Anamony are unaffected by her potions, and they reveal it's because they built tolerance to the drug. Just then, Toto tells them he's found the exit, and Go realizes his plan failed as well. As they move forward, all three of them decide to eliminate each other so they can have a clear path to off Toto. Soon after, they come across another room with multiple doors, and while Anamony chooses the Chamber of Treasure, Seiel stands in front of the Chamber of Glory. Go suggests they head to the Chamber of Pleasure instead, and Toto stands there, confused as to which one he should choose. They all keep tempting him to join, and Toto can't understand what happened between them because they were all so friendly a moment ago. In that moment, he remembers the guard telling them that they needed to head to the lowest level, so he punches the floor and breaks it open, causing them all to fall below. There, they come across a wannabe Master Roshi, who introduces himself as Belly the Examiner and congratulates them on choosing the correct path. He then tells them all they have to do is land one attack on him to pass the test, and Toto decides to go first. Bella immediately goes in for a kick, but Toto easily blocks it and strikes back, only for the old man to teleport behind him. Seeing this, the girls join Toto and tell him that they want to help, but instead of buffing him, they buff Bella in hopes that he would finish Toto off. Bella then goes in for a powerful attack, but Toto punches him and smashes him into the wall. Just then, Seiel notices that someone was watching them from the top, but chooses to keep it to herself. Later, the squad is awarded its D-rank badge, but Toto is worried because he feels like the girls were fighting amongst themselves in the final room. The girls immediately start acting like besties and tell him that they were under a spell, which finally puts him at ease. After that, Go proposes they head to the inn to get some drinks to celebrate their promotion. Once there, Anamony chugs down several jugs and becomes extremely drunk, to the point that she suddenly switches sides and starts diddling with Seiel. Seeing them, Go asks Toto if he'd like some fan service too, but the man has already passed out from seeing so much action. Seiel notices this and asks the girls to act normally, but they bait her with a cocktail, and an hour later, they've all chugged down dozens of drinks. At that point, Go suggests they stop fighting because she's having too much fun, but Anamony pulls out her knife and tells her that she won't fall for this trap. Go insists that this is the first time she has made friends without using her powers, and even Anamony admits that this is the first time she's had drinks with anyone outside of her job. She then says she's not having fun, but Go can tell from her face that she is only pretending. After that, they ask Seiel what she feels, and she says she likes it because she was never allowed to eat out with people before, due to being the Demon Lord's daughter. Their conversation shifts to how much they like Toto, and it makes them realize that Anamony is totally in love with the fool. Later, they wake up Toto because the bar is closing, and are relieved to see the girls get along again. That night, while Anamony and Go are fast asleep, Seiel notices someone's presence and asks them to come out. A girl appears at her window, and she turns out to be the Demon Lord's royal guard named Happy. Some time ago, Seiel was getting mopped in a sparring match, and the person she was facing was her battle instructor, Happy. At present, she tells Happy it hasn't been that long since she left, but Happy responds that she's been gone for a month. As Seiel starts to wonder why she's here, Happy suddenly calls her a cute loli, which annoys her. She then tells Seiel that everyone misses her back in the castle, but Seiel doesn't care and asks if that's the real reason she came all this way. In response, Happy tells her that she has come to take her back home because she's already taken too long to assassinate the hero. Happy believes she wasn't ready to begin with and offers her more training, but when Seiel shows concern, Happy gives her one more day to finish the job. She adds that she will be watching her this entire time, so Seiel mustn't disappoint her before flying out of the window. At that moment, Seiel tells herself that playtime is over, and now she must prove herself so she can attain her freedom. The next day, Anamony joins the others, looking like a snack, and this makes Toto pass out. Go starts teasing Anamony for intentionally showing plots to Toto, because she's in love with him, but this starts an argument between them. Just then, they notice Seiel silently sipping her tea, and Go asks her if she's okay because she's normally more annoying than an alarm clock. Seiel sternly tells them that although she's enjoyed partying with them, she still sees them as enemies, and would wipe them out along with Toto if they stood in her path. However, the girls refuse to take her seriously and tell her to shoot her best shot. As the tension rises, Toto suddenly wakes up, and they all go back to acting like besties. Go suddenly starts talking about how they can clear dungeons now, and this makes Toto excited. However, Go suddenly hugs Anamony and says she will take her shopping because if she keeps dressing up like a hoe every morning, Toto will pass out every time he sees him. She then tells Seiel to accompany Toto to the dungeon, and Anamony agrees since it's Seil's turn to try to end Toto anyway. Seiel then whispers to Go why she's helping her, and Go says it's because they're frenemies. Soon after, Seiel takes Toto to the dungeon and informs him that they have to exterminate the death rats nesting inside. Deeming it a piece of cake, Seiel casually walks in, but when she gets ambushed by a giant rat, Toto steps up to defend her. When he promises to protect her, Seiel begins to blush and tells him to keep moving towards the nest. She realized from their last dungeon that Toto is extremely resilient to physical damage, so today, she plans to catch him with a magic trap. Just then, Toto steps on a pressure plate that activates a trap, and as expected, physical traps have no effect on him. Moving forward, they find a large totem that serves as a key to open the next door, and Seiel modifies it to make it so anyone who touches it loses 90% of their defense. When Toto touches it, he immediately starts to feel much weaker, and as they move ahead, Seiel notices that she's being watched by Happy. Not wanting to disappoint her, she exposes her plot to Toto, which causes him to freeze in one spot. As she powers up to take the man down, she recalls how everyone would look down on her even when she was working hard to prove herself. Demons around her gossiped that she was completely useless and only a candidate because she was the Demon Lord's daughter, and all of this made Seiel really angry. At present, she channels that rage into one powerful spell and creates a legendary scythe. When she swings it at Toto, she is surprised to see a large cut on his chest, and she realizes she can actually end him here. When she swings again, she suddenly remembers all the fun times she has spent with her new party, which makes him hesitate. In the end, she chooses to spare Toto's life and wakes him up to tell him that he was ambushed by a rat. As she heals his wound, Toto believes her story and feels bad thinking he's a burden. Seiel is also lost in thought because she cannot figure out why she couldn't finish Toto off. Then suddenly, she sees Toto preparing to punch her teeth out, and she believes he's seen through her act. However, Toto punches the rat right behind her, leaving her in utter shock. When she notices that they are surrounded by dozens of death rats, she asks Toto to go back to back with her, but Toto promises to protect her properly this time, which makes her smile and blush. Soon after, they return home, and the girls are shocked to find a large scar on Toto's chest. As Go checks up on her, Anamony asks Seiel what happened because they've never seen Toto get hurt like this before. She also wonders why Seiel didn't take advantage of the situation, but Seiel simply tells her she got too tired. Anamony starts pestering her for having no stamina, but even then, Seiel feels a strange warmth at this party that she never felt back home. That night, Happy asks Seiel to explain herself, and Seiel says she doesn't understand why she stopped. She wants to go back to training to regain her composure, but Happy believes she is mature enough to continue her journey on her own. She then reveals she was sent to assess her skills, and Seiel impressed her by casting the magic scythe with efficiency and speed. She also noticed that Seiel had made some friends, and Happy believes all those elements are essential for her to gain her independence. Seeing her grow so much, Happy suddenly becomes polite and tells her she is proud of her, and this makes her blush. Happy then notes that Seiel is obviously in love with the hero and starts saying freaky stuff about them just to tease Seiel. With that, she returns to the demon realm, reflecting on how Seiel went from hating everyone to making friends, which makes her happy. The following day, Anamony joins them in a proper dress, but she still manages to make Toto pass out. Seeing this, Seiel starts calling her a natural-born hoe, but Anamony and Go start teasing her because she's finally gone back to her true self. Go then says she's happy to have her back, adding that even Toto was worried about her yesterday. She asks Seiel to talk about her feelings with them because they are frenemies, and even though Anamony says they're only enemies, Seiel starts to blush because she knows they all have a special bond. Go then wakes Toto up to let him know that Seiel is okay, and they should all go camping to celebrate. Toto imagines himself getting some sloppy toppy and forces himself to stay up, but Go shoves her plots in his arm and sends him back to limbo. The girls then ask Seiel if she's excited about their trip, and she happily admits that she is. The following day, the squad prepares to leave for their expedition, and Go reveals they are headed to a backwater called Ani. Seiel is super excited to have her first real adventure, and Anamony asks what their end goal is. Go reveals she just wanted to travel at first, but then she found a quest that involved securing and transporting some merchandise. Since the box was too big, no one wanted to take the job, which is why she got a good deal out of it. Just when they wonder how they will carry it, Toto casually lifts the giant box on his shoulder. As they set out, a bandit lurks in the woods and keeps a close eye on them. Sometime later, Seiel tells Toto that he must stay conscious or else he will drop the box, which can damage the merchandise. Until now, she's been using her magic to carry him every time he passes out, but now she's used almost all of her mana, so Toto promises to do his best. Just then, a gust of wind exposes her plot-heavy thighs to Toto, and Seiel is forced to carry him again. The following day, the squad sets out again, but Anamony is getting cranky because she hasn't had a cigarette in a while. When she's unable to resist, she locks arms with Toto and makes him pass out, giving her the chance to smoke one. Later that night, the squad camps in the woods, and Toto feels bad for passing out once again. Seiel is super excited because she gets to roast marshmallows, and she hands one to Toto to cheer him up. Anamony also joins them, and even though they're not making much progress, Go is happy that they are having fun. Later, as she keeps watch for the night, a bandit appears and demands that she hand him the stuff she's carrying. She asks what he would do if she said no, and the bandit threatens to send her to a ditty party if she refuses. Go admits she would actually enjoy that, but she doesn't want her friends to be diddled with, so she asks the bandit to take the box. The man then buffs up and lifts the box, but he starts to feel dizzy and soon collapses. Go then walks up to him and tells him that she had placed hallucinogens around the box, and she plans to have a lot of fun on this trip. In the morning, Go wakes up Toto, who immediately apologizes for skipping the night watch, but she tells him it's fine and nothing happened anyway. As they continue, Toto starts to feel hungry, but Go says they are low on food and must gather some. She says she will rest since she is tired of keeping watch, and Anamony adds that she can't hunt animals because she's a priest. Go then hands Seiel a fishing rod and asks her to catch some, and even though she is super excited, she pretends that she's not, which makes them laugh. Later, Toto notes that Seiel is having a lot of fun, but she tells herself that she has not forgotten her goal of taking his life. After a while, she realizes that fishing sucks because she can't catch any, so Toto decides to dive in and catch some by hand. Seiel tells him she'll enchant his helmet with Respiration 3, when in reality, she wants to make sure he drowns to his death. As he jumps, she casts a spell to increase gravity for him, but Toto is unfazed and soon comes out carrying a large fish. Seiel tells him they can't eat it because it's a monster, but before they can move it back to the water, it spills ink on them and slips away. Despite their clothes getting dirty, Seiel begins to laugh and dives into the water to wash them off. Afterward, as she finally catches a fish, she becomes genuinely happy, realizing that although this party won't last long, she is having a lot of fun with these people. At night, they eagerly wait for the fish to cook at the campfire, and Toto hands the first one to Seiel because she's the one who caught it. At that moment, Seiel suddenly remembers all the princess etiquette she was taught, which makes her sad. However, she decides to let go of them and bites into the fish like a glutton, and this makes everyone happy. The following day, the squad finally arrives at their destination, and Go asks the others to go shopping while she and Toto hand over the merchandise. Anamony happily agrees to this and heads to a restaurant where she can finally smoke again. Seiel reminds Anamony that it's her turn today, but Anamony decides to scope things out today because she is tired from the trip. Seiel offers to take her spot, but Anamony tells her they don't need to take a crack at it every time it's their turn, but they also need to stop slacking. Seiel also admits that she wants this journey to end soon, but when Anamony reminds her how much fun she's having, Seiel goes on a rampage and starts calling her things that will get this video demonetized. Meanwhile, Go takes Toto to the Adventurers Guild. After they hand over the goods, the receptionist mentions that these requests used to come from the city of Befori. However, they have suddenly stopped, which leaves them curious. Later, the squad reunites outside, and Anamony complains to Toto that he passes out no matter what she wears, so he must pick clothes for her that can make him withstand her beauty. However, Toto makes her dress like a Chernobyl factory worker, which frustrates her because she can't even breathe. She then chooses an assassin costume for herself so she can always wear it without having to explain herself, and Toto approves of her dress. She then gives him a cute smile, and this makes him pass out once again, which brings them back to square one. Seiel then makes her dress as a mascot, but Anamony gets tired and suggests they change Go's outfit since she looks thicker than Lana Rhodes. When the dresses make her look even thicker, Seiel dresses her up as another mascot, which Toto approves of. However, they can't wear it outside or during quests, so Go helps Anamony pick a more modern outfit that suits her. She ends up looking extra cute in it, and this makes Toto pass out once again. In the end, they realize it's pointless, so they decide to carry on with their usual outfits, and Toto promises that he will try not to pass out now. The girls tell him that's not a good idea, and the man gets confused, admitting that women are hard to understand. Soon after, the squad heads to a nearby city of Befori, famous for weapons and smithing, and Anamony reveals she's been here before too. Just then, the entrance guard asks them if they have love in their lives, and this shocks all of them. Immediately, they realize that the guard has a screw loose, but the man keeps rambling that they cannot enter if they don't have love in their lives. Seiel and Anamony decide to camp out because they can't deal with this BS, but Go wants to investigate what's going on. They ask Toto to make the call, and Toto says he's also curious because something is definitely wrong with this place. Hearing this, Go grabs him and tells the guard that they are a couple, so the man lets them enter. Inside, Go is shocked to see that the whole city is in a permanent state of ballin' teens, with couples in every corner. They also notice guards arresting a man who wanted to keep his No Nut November streak going, and Toto becomes determined to get to the bottom of it. Just then, the guard asks Toto if he has enough love in his life, and Go quickly latches onto his arm to save him, all while Toto tries really hard not to combust in his pants. After the guard leaves, she apologizes to Toto for jumping on him, but the man collects himself and promises to protect her, which makes her happy. She then suggests they head to the Adventurers Guild, not knowing that someone is listening in on them from the shadows. Reaching the guild, they are welcomed by a psycho receptionist who also asks them if they have enough love in their life. Ignoring her, they ask if there's something strange going on here, but she says everything is fine, thanks to all the love. When Go asks why they've stopped sending delivery requests to other towns, she tells them it's because there's no need to leave town, because they have all the love they need here. As the duo heads outside, Go believes everyone is under hypnosis, judging from the lethargic looks. She adds that a monster might have taken over the town to run some shady scheme, and Toto says he wants to investigate further and help these people. Just then, a boy peeks at them from cover and asks if they are normal, so they decide to follow him to his hiding place. He then introduces himself as Tim and begs them to save his family. He explains that a new minister moved to the city recently, and that's when everything started. As he begins crying, Toto comforts him and promises that he will fix everything. Afterward, they meet up with Seiel and Anamony and share the story. But Seiel isn't interested in working for free. She tries to convince Anamony to join her, but Anamony chooses to help because she has her principles. Now left alone, Seiel recalls how Anamony saved a girl when they first met, so she agrees to join them as well. However, only one of them can go in with Toto, and Anamony gets that chance after winning rock, paper, scissors. Seiel believes they will get to sit out of this one, but Go forces her to act like a scissor sister, which earns them entry into the city. Meanwhile, Toto acknowledges that he might become hypnotized as well, and in that case, he wants Anamony to knock him out. Since eating him has been her goal from the start, she happily accepts it. Just then, a local offers them a love drink, but Anamony advises Toto not to drink it because it can hypnotize them. When Toto turns the drink down, everyone starts thinking they are not in love, but the man wraps his arm around Anamony and starts acting lovey-dovey. He then drags Anamony away and apologizes for touching her, but she suddenly starts blushing and thanks him for saving her. She looks so cute that Toto immediately punches himself to keep himself awake, and Anamony begins healing his wound. Just then, a wannabe Chris Heria offers to train them some love-dovey calisthenics, so Anamony suggests they play along. After exhausting themselves, they reach the castle and are welcomed by the guard, which shocks them because they were expecting to fight their way in. Meanwhile, Goat and Seiel are with Tim, and Seiel pulls out a magic ball to get a bird's-eye view of the city. She then uses the ball to look into the castle, but when her magic fails to get in, she concludes that the enemy inside is powerful. Meanwhile, Toto and Anamony head into the castle and look around, but everywhere they look is empty. Soon after, Anamony falls under the hypnosis and starts begging Toto for some backshots, and when the guy tries to stop her, she starts attacking him. As she continues to swing, Toto keeps blocking and tells her he will take her to Go, who might have a drug to cure her. However, hearing another woman's name makes Anamony lose it, and she decides to end Toto for not having enough love. Before Toto can find a way out of this situation, the guards suddenly surround them and make things worse. Toto realizes there is no way out of here, so he tells the guards to put him in the dungeon for having no love. Once he's locked up, he finds that many others who are unaffected by the hypnosis are also imprisoned. He asks them if any of them knows a boy named Tom, and his parents immediately identify themselves. Toto tells them he's here to break them out, but the others aren't very hopeful about their chances. That is until Toto casually breaks the chains around his hands, and everyone suddenly becomes eager to escape. Meanwhile, Anamony finally meets the minister, and since she is under hypnosis, she tells the guy that her friends are hiding in town. Meanwhile, Go and Seiel are still with Tim and decide to wait things out because they are certain Toto and Anamony have this in the bag. However, they suddenly sense a light on Seiel's magic ball, and it happens to be the reflection of Anamony's sniper aimed directly at them. Just as Anamony fires her shot, Seiel uses her dark magic as a shield to stop the bullet, and Go wonders if she's also been hypnotized. However, Seiel believes she might be pretending as an excuse to take them out, but no matter what the case is, Seiel declares that Anamony must pay with her life for attacking her. At the castle, Anamony is already prepared for a counterattack, and seconds later, Seiel flies in to take her out. After Anamony dodges her attack, Seiel lands on the balcony and asks if she's hypnotized, but Anamony claims that her eyes have been opened now and achieving true love is her ultimate goal. She even declares that she loves Toto more than anything in this world and can't wait to fiddle with his joystick, but Seiel realizes Anamony would never say such things if she were in her right mind. Despite that, she casts a fancier version of Jet's ultimate, while Anamony pulls out her very own Ray's rocket. As the two clash, the rubbing is felt even in the basement, and Toto can't figure out who Anamony is fighting since Seiel and Go are supposed to be watching Tim. Just then, the minister shows up at the balcony to ask what Anamony is doing, and she apologizes for the mess. Seizing the opportunity, Seiel strikes the man's heart with her kunai and takes a breather as she believes the spell is broken. However, Anamony suddenly pins her down, and this tells her that it's still active. As she looks over at the dead minister, she sees her body melt and give rise to a demon with plots so big they have their own gravity. Seiel immediately recognizes her as the Succubus Princess Yulia and reminds her that her actions can trigger a war between demons and the Succuli. However, Yulia says war is exactly what she wants, and then blames Seiel for barging into her territory. She then comes closer and casts her hypnosis on Seiel, and this causes her crystal ball to shatter. Before this, she had told Go that she was going to end Anamony and whoever was behind this whole mess. She also handed the crystal ball to her and told her that this ball would shatter if anything happened to her, and if it came to that, she expected Go to save these people. Go joked that she would just skedaddle, but Seiel promised that if she did that, she would be hunted for the rest of her life. Seiel then added that she trusted Go's knowledge and skill in hypnosis magic, and it would be a shame if she ran away from someone who could do it better than her. At present, Go is enraged at losing both Anamony and Seiel, so she decides that it's time to drop her happy-go-lucky act. Handing some defensive bombs to Tim, she heads out, declaring that she has to save her friends. Meanwhile, Toto carefully guides all the prisoners out of the basement and tells them to hide in a room while he figures out a way to save his friends. As he heads upstairs, he feels a strong aura oozing from a room and decides to check it out. Once inside, he finds both Anamony and Seiel hypnotized by Yulia's spell, and when he asks where the minister is, she tells him he's the minister he's looking for. She yaps how she is the Sydney Sweeney of demons, but that has left her with no peace in that realm, so she has come here to start from scratch. Hearing this, Toto finds himself in a pickle, because he has to take out Yulia without hurting his friends. At that moment, Yulia reveals that she intentionally left some people out of her spell so she could use them as bait, and her plan has worked perfectly. Just then, she casts a spell that freezes Toto in place and then sends both Seiel and Anamony so they can tempt him with their natural cushions. As Toto finds himself unable to move, Go makes a grand entrance and casually declares that Toto's sausage belongs only to her. She then turns to Yulia and tells her that her hypnosis is to do, which hurts her pride. Yulia sends Seiel and Anamony to end Go, but right as they leap towards her, Go's bombastic side-eye turns them both into her pets. Yulia can't believe an ordinary human has a stronger hypnosis than hers, and a stunned Toto turns to ask what's going on. She tells him she merely used some drugs and diverts his attention by reminding him that he needs to take down the enemy. Toto tries his best to break free of Yulia's spell, but can't, so she launches a powerful attack at the defenseless hero. However, after the smoke dissipates, Toto appears to be unscathed, so Yulia bombards her with another powerful attack. Once again, Toto takes 0 damage, which frustrates her so much that she transforms into her true demonic form. This causes her spell to wear off, and Toto cements himself as a true Saitama fan by defeating her in a single punch. As Seiel and Anamony return to normal, a heavily injured Yulia drags herself across the floor and pretends to be dead, only for Go to spot her. She begs Go to let her live, but Go finishes her off before joining her friends at the door. With everyone back to normal, Toto and the others leave the castle and are greeted by Tim, who thanks them for saving his city. Just then, he spots his parents and immediately runs into their arms, leading to a heartfelt reunion. Meanwhile, Anamony and Seiel are embarrassed by everything they did under hypnosis, so they pretend to have lost their memories. However, Go rage baits them into admitting that they retain their memories, and seeing them argue like normal makes Toto happy. Just then, a city official thanks Toto for saving them and invites him to a feast, and Toto gladly accepts it. That night, while Seiel and Anamony are having fun, Toto joins Go at the table and suggests they head to the town of Decide next. When Go mentions that they will pass the fishing village of Anglin on the way, Seiel immediately joins them and eagerly looks forward to catching more fish. After the feast is over, Seiel and Anamony keep teasing each other, while Toto thanks Go for saving them. She takes it lightly at first, but when Toto says it felt like she overwrote Yulia's hypnosis, she freaks out, believing she blew her cover. Toto also takes note of how strong Anamony and Seiel are, but before he asks too many questions, they use their thick plots to make him pass out. The following day, they arrive at Anglin, and Seiel is super excited to see the ocean for the first time. As Go asks the guildmaster about quests, he tells them they don't have quests, but rather a sea wrestling tournament, with the winner getting a worthless white towel. Since the village is peaceful and there are no quests, the girls decide to have some fun at the beach. Soon after, they show up in their swimsuits, and this makes Toto pass out immediately. Go is excited to go for a swim, but Seiel is let down because she wanted to catch some fish. However, Go promises to let her fish later after the swim, so while they happily jump into the water, Anamony stands back, wondering why they've forgotten about assassinating Toto. Meanwhile, a wannabe Meliodas and Gother show up at the guild, and the blonde proudly introduces himself as the B-rank hero Fresnner. He then looks at the sea wrestling tournament poster and claims he would enter if the price was worth his presence. Just then, he looks at the beach and sees Go playing at the beach, and this immediately awakens his inner Neanderthal. He quickly jumps down and loudly declares that she wants to give backshots to Go even before he introduces himself. As Go stands there confused, he tells her that he wants to recruit her into his party, but Toto immediately steps up to defend her Discord kitten and tells Fresnner to back off. Fresnner asks him about his rank, and when Toto tells her he's a dip, Fresnner laughs at him and challenges him to a duel to see who is worthy of Go. Before Toto can respond, Go accepts it on his behalf and suggests they settle their score at the sea wrestling tournament. While Fresnner happily accepts, Toto becomes anxious because he believes he cannot beat a B rank. Meanwhile, Seiel doesn't want anything to do with it, but Anamony openly declares that she and Seiel will also join. When Seiel starts throwing a tantrum, Anamony takes her to the side and tells her that they can use this tournament to get rid of Go. She is certain no one stands a chance against Toto in battle, but they can use their plots to make him unconscious and defeat him, which will force Go to leave their party and go with the winner. Hearing this, Seiel declares that she will join the tournament too and tells Toto that they must do their best to make sure Go stays in their team, even though she has opposite plans. Later, the announcer reveals that the prize for winning is a long trip with Go, and seeing her juicy plums on display makes all the men bust wine or tribute. He then explains the rules of the tournament, and the participant must knock their opponent out of the ring to advance. On top of that, they must carry a watermelon at all times and protect it too, because dropping it in water or breaking it will count as a loss. Anamony asks if they can use skills, but the announcer strictly prohibits the use of magic and weapons. As the brackets are drawn, Fresnner and Seiel are matched with random participants till the end, and it is up to Anamony to take Toto out of the tournament. At first, Toto faces a steroid junkie who manages to knock himself out in less than a second. For the next match, Anamony and her watermelons go against the fastest man in the village, who gets the fastest exit out of the tournament. After that, Seiel goes against Fresnner, and she plans to lose, so this idiot can reach the finals. However, after Fresnner demonstrates his elite fighting skills, she decides to stay for a bit and have some fun. As things get exciting between them, Seiel gets so focused on the battle that she starts using magic, which leads to her disqualification. Toto praises her for going toe-to-toe with B rank, but Seiel plays innocent and says she was secretly using enhancement magic to make herself stronger. With Seiel out of the picture, Anamony takes it upon herself to knock out Toto in their next match. Before the match, Toto asks her to withdraw because he doesn't want to attack her, but she walks up to him and lets him feel her watermelon to pass him out. However, Toto powers through because he wants to protect Anamony from Fresnner, who attacks without mercy. With that resolve, he goes in to destroy Anamony's watermelon, and she knows she can never beat him in a fair game. Thus, she jumps towards him and gives him a kiss, and this makes Toto drop his watermelon into the water. As Seiel watches in horror, Anamony walks up to Go and tells her that she's now out of the party. But Go isn't worried one bit and wishes her good luck in the finals. Soon after, Anamony and Fresnner take the stage, and the guy decides to go full strength from the start after his warm-up with Seiel. Anamony already plans to lose, but she decides to put up some fight so she can last longer than Seiel. After the match begins, Fresnner immediately jumps in and tries to hit Anamony with some really fast strikes, only for her to dodge like Spider-Man. Just then, she notices that Fresnner has accidentally destroyed her plot armor, and this gets her so frustrated that she smacks him in the face and unintentionally knocks him out. By the time she realizes what she's done, she has already declared the winner, and Go immediately cuddles up to her, as she's now earned a trip with her. Anamony believes Go did something to her plot armor when she touched her earlier, but Go denies having any involvement. Just then, Fresnner reappears and demands a rematch, so Seiel summons the Cthulhu to distract him. Without hesitation, Fresnner goes in to attack it, but all his attacks prove useless. He then tells his wannabe Gother to take the villagers to safety, but Toto casually punches the monster and turns it into dust. Immediately, Fresnner apologizes to Toto for looking down on him and begs to join his party. Later, the whole squad is treated to a fine meal for saving their village, during which Anamony keeps looking at Toto's face. Go asks her if she's still thinking about kissing him, and this makes Anamony embarrassed. While they are chattering, Fresner's subordinate asks Seiel if she is the Demon Lord's daughter, prompting her to ask who he is. The guy then removes his helmet and reveals that he's a Dullahan, leaving Seiel in utter shock. Toto immediately steps in front to protect others, but Fresnner asks him to relax. He then introduces the Dullahan as Kasha, who is his retainer and also his best friend. Anamony argues that a hero and a monster aren't exactly supposed to be friends, and Seiel signals the Kasha to keep her demon identity hidden. Go becomes interested in how it started, so Kasha tells him he was considered misbegotten by his family at birth, so they abandoned him under a bridge. When the girls ask why, he explains that Dullahans usually come in a set with their own horse, but he didn't get one and was really bad at riding. Anamony, being an advocate for the young, does not support his parents' decision to abandon him for such a petty reason. Nonetheless, Kasha managed to survive for a few years, but was eventually injured by a monster. While roaming around in the forest, he came across Fresnner, who was the first person to show him any kindness. As Fresnner patched him up, Kasha wondered why a human was helping a monster, but his origin did not matter to Fresnner. He further said that he liked people based on personality and not by their spice, and that single sentence made Kasha serve him for the rest of his life. Over the years, they trained and camped together and eventually became inseparable best friends. When Fresnner finally brought Kasha to his town, everyone was shocked to see a monster and a human being buddies. Despite the judgment from others, Fresnner kept holding Kasha's hand over the years until they grew up and decided to adventure. This makes the group realize that Fresnner is not as stupid as he looks, but Kasha reveals that people tend to dislike this idiot because he always acts so cocky. Even then, Fresnner has a heart of gold and has never treated him differently, which is why he's forever loyal to him. Go then asks Fresnner if he takes on monster hunting quests, but he says he has no interest in terminating or hunting anyone, so he leaves that to others. All he wants is to travel around and find people who are strong and worthy of being in his party. He then asks Toto why he became a hero, and Toto says he wants to defeat the Demon Lord. However, he realizes it might not be a good thing to say in front of a Dullahan, but Kasha tells him not to worry about him because even among the demons, many do not side with the Demon Lord. He further explains that many demons are neutral and even become friends with humans, hinting at Seiel, who's also a demon. Fresnner then asks Toto how he's so strong, and Toto simply says he lifts weights, much to Fresner's shock. That evening, Fresnner invites them to merge parties, but Go and Anamony wish to keep it separate, because they already have one hero in their party. With that, Fresnner and Kasha take their leave, and on the way, Fresnner asks Kasha why he revealed his true form to them. Kasha says he felt warmth from them, and felt like he could trust them, and Fresnner agrees with his observation. Later, Toto and the girls are fighting a monster, but Toto remembers Fresnner telling him that many demons want to befriend humans, which makes him hesitate. He then lifts a giant rock to scare the monster off and later reflects on the possibility of coexisting with monsters. He also recalls his entire village being incinerated by monsters, and while he's lost in thought, the girls get worried about him. Seiel herself is wondering if she can ever have the same bond with Toto, but she also recalls her father telling her that she must take down a hero. Then she reflects on Happy's words that she's in love with Toto, but she tells herself that Toto will never give up on his dream of taking down the Demon Lord. Thus, she leaves the tent and joins Toto outside, where they talk about humans and monsters living together. Toto admits he used to think all monsters were evil, and it was a hero's duty to defeat the Demon Lord, but seeing Fresnner and Kasha changed his perspective. Seiel asks him not to overthink, or if he won't be able to fight, which is exactly what happened to her when she tried to take him out. She then asks Toto if he likes her, and Toto tells her to stop messing with him. However, when he realizes she's being serious, he admits that she is very important to him, like the other two, and he didn't want to label it as liking her. She then asks if he would feel the same way if she were a monster, if Anamony were an assassin, or if Go were a psycho who brainwashes men to make them pets. As Anamony and Go listen in, he declares that he would still feel the same way because they have saved his life many times. Even though they are all very different from him, he realizes that the real point of his journey is to coexist with them. He then asks Seiel if what she said was true, but Seiel tells him she was merely giving him an example. After that, she heads back to her tent, wondering whether they will coexist or she will take his life first. Inside, both Go and Anamony start teasing her for being in love with Toto, and Toto feels happy seeing that they get along well. While the teasing continues, Go recalls having a similar moment with Toto, and recalls how happy his answer made her. This keeps her up at night, and she believes Toto will choose Seiel over her if he had to pick one, because Seiel is pure-hearted, unlike her. She also believes Anamony is better than her, because she is a sweetheart who can make people fall for her, unlike her, who has always used drugs or her powers to make people love her. The next day, Anamony joins Toto at the campfire, and a shy Seiel peeks behind her to say hi to him. Soon after, Go joins them too, and Toto immediately notices that she's not feeling okay. Go quickly puts up her happy face even though she is dying from the inside. Later, they arrive in the developed town of Decide, and while Toto and Seiel immediately head to the guild, Anamony asks Go to cheer up before she ends her misery permanently. However, Go successfully rage-baits Anamony into screaming her lungs out before walking away with a smirk. As they reach the guild, the receptionist tells them they are now eligible to take the C-ranked promotion test, and Go turns to Toto to ask if he will accept. Thinking about how he wants to get along with them all, he agrees to take the test. Go then suggests they rest today and get to it tomorrow, so they head to an inn where Go books one room for all of them.
You know what time it is? Disco time!
Seeing this makes Toto pass out, so Go immediately asks whose turn it is to try and eat Toto. Seiel recalls she was the one who tried last, so now it's Go's turn. That night, they all sleep in the same room, but Go is only pretending to sleep. The following day, Anamony wakes up first and sees Toto sitting with his face towards the wall. When she touches his shoulder to wake him up, Toto falls flat on the floor with a knife stuck to his chest, and Anamony declares him dead. Now covered in Toto's blood, Anamony watches in horror and wonders who could have done this. Just then, she hears someone on the door and pulls her gun out, only to meet the two guys who handed her Toto's assassination contract. They praise her for completing the job, but she tells them she didn't do it, and Toto was already dead when she woke up. The guys are confused because the knife on Toto belongs to Anamony, and they wonder if she yeeted him in her sleep. She turns to Go and Seiel to ask if they saw anything, but suddenly stops as she realizes her memories are hazy. Despite the confusion, her contractors hand her the payment and leave, so Anamony hits the bar to celebrate. As she lights up a cigarette, she instinctively asks Go and Seiel to order drinks, only to realize she's all alone. She then tips the waiter with a gold coin, and when he asks what she's gonna do with all her money, she says she will use it to make her dream come true. Meanwhile, Seiel returns to the demon realm and gets an audience with the demon lord, who praises her for completing the job. He also declares her his successor, and everyone starts cheering for Seiel. Before this, she woke up and looked around to find the room empty. As she stepped outside, she saw a crowd gathered in the street and approached to find Toto's dead body lying in the middle. Shocked and confused, Seiel went for a walk, and Happy suddenly appeared to congratulate her for completing her mission. At present, Seiel returns to her room after the coronation and tells Happy she does not remember how Toto died. Happy tells her it's fine because she witnessed it firsthand how a monster Seiel summoned yeeted the hero. Even though Seiel is initially sad, Happy takes her to the banquet with all her favorite sweets, which immediately lifts her mood. While she eats, the demons who had bullied her before apologize to her, just as a butler brings her a grilled fish skewer. When Seiel reacts to it, Happy wonders when she started liking seafood so much, but Seiel herself doesn't remember it. Just then, memories of fishing with the squad flash before her eyes, but she can't seem to piece it together. Meanwhile, Anamony uses her money to build an orphanage, and the workers praise her for her contribution. As she replies in a softer tone, she suddenly realizes she's developed of talking like an e-girl due to their adventure. However, she suddenly freezes as she realizes she doesn't even know what trip she is talking about. On the other hand, Seiel is playing cards with her demon friends and keeps winning, stating that she learned how to play during her adventure. Suddenly, she stops to ask herself who she was traveling with, and Anamony is asking herself the same question. Just then, a girl approaches to ask if she wants to play cards, and Anamony sees a faint memory of herself playing cards with others. Later, Seiel lies in bed, wondering why she doesn't feel happy despite having everything she ever wanted. Meanwhile, Toto wakes up, excited to go on their mission, and sees all three of them sleeping in bed. After he wakes them up, they greet him with a smile, and even when they step outside, everyone gathers to say hi to Toto. At the guild, Toto accepts the C-rank promotion quest and easily defeats the wyvern with his bare hands. He then drags its carcass back to the guild, and the whole town cheers him on for defeating such a dangerous monster. Seeing this makes him realize that he's rebuilt his confidence, and this makes him really happy. In reality, it's still night, and Go has used one of her potions to make them dream of the things they want the most. She then explains the infinity incense, which causes people to hallucinate and gradually lose memories. Just after a single night, the personalities of those who inhale it completely change, leaving nothing but a blank slate. That's when Go comes in and uses her skill to turn them into pets, and she's used the same trick on them. Before this, all of them could resist her potions, but she used the wings of the Succubus to enhance them. Now, all three of them are living their dream life and have no reason to come back to reality, which means Go has succeeded. However, she remembers when she was young, a couple was going to send their girl to the Epstein Island, and she used her powers to save her. She was expecting the girl to become her friend, but the girl got terrified and started wondering if Go used her powers to become her friend. After she ran away, Go was left alone and cried her eyes out. At present, a young Go appears in Anamony's orphanage, and she gets a feeling that she's seen her before. Go then tells her that her journey isn't over, but the maids show up to throw her out. Before Anamony can stop them, Go calls her Mun-chan and tells her to wake up from this dream, which makes her freeze. Soon after, her head begins to hurt as her mind struggles to grasp what's real or not. Meanwhile, a young Go infiltrates Seiel's dream and is brought to her as a prisoner. The guards tell her she snuck in, so Seiel tells them to drop her off somewhere since she is young. Just then, Go yells that the journey isn't over and she must remember, but Happy tells Seiel not to mind her yapping. While being dragged away, Go tells her that she must wake up from this dream, but Happy immediately embraces Seiel to make sure the illusion doesn't break. Meanwhile, Toto is in his own illusion with the girls when a young Go suddenly jumps on his back and tells him to wake up. When the others ask who she is, Toto tells them he found this girl on the road, and she must have secretly tagged along with them. She keeps telling Toto that this is a dream, but a random couple appears and claims she is their daughter. Before being taken away, she bites his hand and reminds him that she promised to protect them, leaving him confused. Meanwhile, both Anamony and Seiel are experiencing the same confusion, and it clicks to them simultaneously that they are under hypnosis. Just as their memories come back, the atmosphere around the orphanage changes, and Anamony rushes inside to find the maids acting strangely. They tell her to return to her room, but when Anamony refuses, they turn into ghosts. Seeing this finally makes it clear to her that they're all fake, so she pulls out her gun to have some fun. Meanwhile, inside the demon realm, Seiel tries to stop the guards from taking Go away, but all her attendants turn into ghosts as well. They ask her why she's trying to escape when she has everything she wants here, and Seiel responds that she wants to make her dream a reality with her own power, not by some stupid illusion. On the other hand, Toto asks the couple to stop, but they tell him that he shouldn't worry about the girl. However, Toto knows she is the real Go and asks them to give her back. As she runs back into Toto's arms, he admits that this dream was wonderful, but now they must return to reality. Hearing this, everyone around him turned into ghosts, determined to make him stay here forever. As he fights through them, Anamony finally defeats her ghosts and finds Go. Seiel also defeats the ghosts and saves Go, even creating a portal that would lead them out of here. While fighting, they even spot the exit door and their own dreams, and Go leads them to it. She also admits to Anamony and Seiel that she's the one who trapped them in here, but now she wants them escape. When they ask why, she admits that this younger version is just a subconscious, because the real Go is secretly wishing for them to escape this dream. At that moment, Anamony and Seiel realize that Go is a softie from the inside, even when she acts cold. Meanwhile, as Toto fights his way towards the door, Go asks him not to hate her, but he turns towards him with a smile and tells her he loves her. This makes Go really happy, and she starts dancing around, asking Toto to say that to the real Go too. Toto gladly agrees to say it to all of them as many times as they like, which makes her face light up. Anamony also manages to reach the door, but she's tired because she had to babysit and fight at the same time. She also says maybe Toto and Seiel don't even realize this is an illusion because they're both idiots. Seiel, on the other hand, makes a similar statement when the door opens behind her. Go then apologizes to her for the trouble her real self caused, but both Seiel and Anamony tell her that she is also coming with them. Go is confused because she's part of this dream, but Anamony admits she will feel bad leaving her behind. Seiel also says she wants her to tag along, and even Toto grabs Go's hand, telling her that it's time to meet the others. With that, they all walk in, while in the real world, the sun is about to come up, which would erase all their personalities. The real Go then gets up from her chair to get some coffee, only to be held at gunpoint by Anamony and Seiel. She turns around with a shocked look on her face, and the girls ask him to say her final words. However, when Toto wakes up, they all go back to acting friendly. When Toto walks towards Go, she remembers the last time she lost her friend and apologizes to him. However, Toto blurts out that he has loved her from the day they met before passing out, leaving them all confused. After that, the girls explain that a younger version of Go helped them out, and they ask the real Go not to try anything again, or they will end her. Just then, Go starts laughing and claims it was just an elaborate prank, but Anamony and Seiel start beating her up for it. In reality, she really intended to take them all out, but her subconscious mind could not let her destroy the bond they had. As she starts tearing up, she pulls them both in for a hug and declares that she loves them. Just then, Toto wakes up and is happy to see them get along so well. The following day, they all wake up, and Go is super thrilled to take the promotion test so they can become a C-ranked party. However, their funds are running low, so they are forced to take other jobs first. As they're walking through the forest, they suddenly come across a giant monster, but as usual, Toto takes it out with a single blow. At that moment, he wonders if he's strong because he's never had to use more than one punch. But then he shakes it off, thinking the girls must have cast some enhancement spell on him. Later, they head to the guild and are offered an emergency job that involves saving a village from monsters. Toto immediately accepts it because he also lost his village in a demon attack. That night, while Toto camps out for the night, the girls stay in the hotel and discuss how he's more motivated than usual. Anamony recalls that Toto's village was also attacked by monsters, and that's how he got the scar on his face. Seiel realizes that tragedy might be the reason why Toto became a hero, and Go asks if that troubles her since she is a demon. Seiel explains that the word monster is quite broad and demons usually pillage without any reason. The following day, they head to the village where the demons have destroyed crops, and Go secretly asks Seiel to cast a spell to locate the monsters. Seiel is hesitant because she doesn't want to be exposed in front of Toto, so Go knocks him out with her juicy plums, which helps her summon a device that detects mana. Following the device, they come across a monster that looks like a cute Pokemon and start adoring it. However, it attacks so fast that they don't even see it, and not even Toto can catch it. Seeing him struggle, Anamony gives it a shot, but not even her bullets can catch the monster. When Go's perfumes and Seiel's dark magic fail as well, they try to combine their powers to catch him. The monster then jumps towards Toto just as he wakes up, and when he tries to grab it, the beast stomps on his face and gets away. That evening, the squad heads back feeling defeated, and Toto reveals he was only able to grab a feather out of that monster. On the way, they run into the receptionist, who says they found the boar that was ravaging the crops. Just then, the feathered Toto starts glowing, and it turns all the destroyed crops back to normal, leaving everyone in shock. The villagers are so happy that they invite Toto's squad to a free meal, and during the party, Anamony asks Seiel what monster they fought earlier. Seiel reveals it's a divine beast, and she doesn't want to tell Toto, so he can keep training hard. Toto joins them with drinks and apologizes for being useless, but Seiel tells him he can always train more and become stronger. After some reassuring words from the girls, Toto vows to be more useful as they go on more adventures together. With that, the girls cuddle up to him to make him pass out and start planning their next move to take him out. Will Toto ever achieve his dream of defeating the Demon Lord, or will the girls find a way to take him out? Let us know in the comments. Leave a like if you made it to the end and comment, "I love Go's melons" as proof. If you want to see more amazing recaps, watch this video on screen.